This is episode 63. You're watching the Flight Sim Cartel.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, Tempo 63.
63, contact the New York Center 128.3.
28 just with 63, good day. Hello, Captain.
On Approach is a flight sim and aviation enthusiast podcast featuring the week's top user-submitted stories and news on the skylounge.tv. Welcome to another show, everybody. And don't try and buy the flightsimcartel.com because it's taken. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another week.
Yep.
With us,
week, right?
with us today, Mr. Spark Smudge down below, right there.
Good morning, miss.
Good morning, Mr. ACDC. What's going on, buddy? What's the temperature like there, bro?
At the moment, it's okay. It's sun's coming out. It's going to be another hot one today. We're going to be up into the 80s today. It's going to be quite nice today.
And
there's a bit of a breeze. So
there's no AC there, right? It's pretty standard to not have AC in London.
I open a window.
Yeah, it's free AC. Over to that side, Mr. Kevin, aka the maple syrup can. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. I got an iPad today.
Yeah?
Not today, yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you went with white too, huh?
No, I went with the space gray. I went for the space gray, but they gave me a silver one instead.
Is that the new one with magic pen?
It's the cheap one, yeah. It's the cheap one. It's still $400, but it's the cheap one.
$400. Good lord. I buy the iPad 2s, bro. They're older. And they still do the job.
I wanted something that would be future-proof. The problem with iPad 2s is that you'll keep them for a few years and then the updates won't come and then you'll be stuck. I use it for flight, so I want to, something that at least is performant for it.
Yeah, for sure. Far over on that side, still part of the Flight Sim Cartel, it seems. He's not giving it up. I'm going to forward Flight Sim. I'm going to... Dr. Noodle Spect. Look, he's so straight-faced, bro. He can't even break him. That, my friends, is Mr. My Noodle is Caramel. Or AKA just the Noodle. Look, he doesn't speak either. He's just gonna. He's like, "Are you guys done?"
Breaking silence.
So, some good conversation in the comments, Noodle, regarding our last show. Some really active comments actually. It was
about him eating or.
No, not this time. See, nobody said nothing about Noodle eating. It's like the day that you ate on the show, people called you out, but the day that Noodle ate on the show, everybody just knew better.
Don't have anything to eat.
I had reasoning though. I wasn't eating to be eating. I was eating late because I had a reason. There's the difference.
There's the difference. How was your week, Mr. Sparks?
Pretty damn good, sir. Pretty damn good. Lots of work as usual, but work makes money, and money is very important right now.
Yes, because you're coming here. Right here.
Soon.com.
Soon.com.
Not in my chair, though.
Soon.com. Oh yeah, so
Trademark.
Kevin has the gold velvet chair there. You're gonna have to lease time from him. There's like a timeshare on that chair.
You got a floor, man. That's enough.
You don't want to be on that floor.
You don't want to be on the concrete. Not the concrete, bro. You don't want the concrete floor.
I don't think you can handle it.
Cold.
It's
cold
very
and very
cold.
solid.
It's cold. That's how Black Betty maintains her temperatures in the 30s. Low 30s. Cold concrete floor, just pushing that cold air up into the radiator. He's gonna run around here doing laps naked, I'm sure of it.
No, you wouldn't want to watch that.
No, we wouldn't. Speaking of naked, I think it was Osflight Simmer dared us to do a show, all of us with no pants.
I have no pants on.
Well, I'm just going to get with it.
Oh, he's just kidding. Not now. We don't want to see the whole transformation process into no pants mode. But I think we can accept that challenge. Maybe next week we'll do a no pants show.
I'm halfway there. I'm wearing shorts. So I'm half there.
There he goes, throwing off the white balance again.
There's my knee. No
Yeah,
pants on.
that's what we'll do. Yeah, see.
Halfway there.
Oh my god.
Full jeans.
Our female viewers will definitely run away now. It's like I can see the unfollows coming already. Anyways, we got a good show lined up. Some really hot topics. First,
thank you, Mr. Edson, for that intro. I've recently, as everyone here knows, I recently rebuilt my machine from Windows up, and I've finally got all of my P3D sorted out, and now I'm concentrating on X-Plane. And I have to thank Elios over at Erison Gaming this week. He came into my stream, gave me some great tips. Get these tools, here's links, and I just wanted to thank him for coming by and putting me on the right foot with rebuilding my X-Plane. Thank you very much.
top story today submitted by Mr. Papa G. Dovetail to go after Lockheed Martin? Question mark. Mr. Papa G says, is the following topic attributed to Frugal worth a discussion? Dovetail has the entertainment rights to FSX. Lockheed Martin has the rights for the FSX platform for use in training, etc. Lockheed Martin has 2 copies of Prepare 3D for sale, professional version and the academic version of Prepared, at a much reduced price. When purchasing Prepared, Lockheed Martin did not attempt to determine if the sim was to be used in training, or in the case of the academic version, there was no attempt by Lockheed Martin to determine the academic status of the purchaser. Could Dovetail legally make a claim that Lockheed Martin made no attempt to determine how each copy of Prepared was to be used, and therefore many copies were used for entertainment purposes, contributing to the demise of Flight Sim World?
My views on this is legally, yeah, Lockheed Dovetail could take Lockheed to court, but would they be able to afford to take Lockheed to court? Lockheed Martin will spend 10 grand on a bolt for one of their planes. I think they'd have lawyers coming out of their let's say parts that Dovetail couldn't even get to. You're going to try and take on one of the world's largest weapon manufacturers in the world. I don't think they've got the cojones to do it. And if they did, good luck to them, but I don't think they would win if they did.
I think that if both companies were in Silicon Valley, absolutely it would 100% happen. But matter of fact, they're not, and they're not into that kind of business either. I think Dovetail would have a lot to lose if they were to go to court against Lockheed. Lockheed just really doesn't care. I think they have enough money to they're a defense company, so they're pretty much able to defend themselves pretty well. So, and the contracts that are coming in for Prepared are way more important than what a lawsuit would mean to them in terms of money and in terms of, as a company. So I don't see Prepared going away anytime soon, or even them touching the academic version. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd be surprised if it would, though. The Dovetail, they still have the license. They still have FSX Team Edition. They might revisit it at some point. I really don't know where it's going to go from here, but I don't think a lawsuit is going to emerge from all of this.
I have to agree with all that. And number one, this is just a worthless, even a subject to bring up. That's almost like, you're on the playground and you lose to a snaps fight, and you're going to go and call mommy and daddy so you can win that snap fight. It serves absolutely no purpose for Dovetail to go after Lockheed Martin and under the guise and excuse of, it's your fault that we failed. It's your fault, so now we're going to blame you and put you on blast. No, this subject, this argument, whatever you want to call it, I think it's baseless and it's pointless. There's no reason to even speculate on something like this, because in the end, all it will do is piss off all of the thousands of end users. That is all of us, whether you use academic, whether you use professional, to go and even insinuate that they would do something like this or could do something like this. All it does, it brings a huge negative light upon Dovetail. And then it just goes to show that, oh, well, they didn't do it, so these are a bunch of petty people.
I think you touch on something real important. You know, in my mind, this topic or this approach to the topic comes off as very alarmist. It really set an alarm in the community, right? For somebody with a lot of influence, and it was unnecessary, even though perhaps in the back of, you know, the mind of a business person, this is a possibility. It's not a realistic possibility. While this day and age, we can sue for just about anything. I think Sparky said, you know, while legally they can do that. Yeah, for sure. Legally, you can do anything. Legally, I could, you know, I just had a few coughs after drinking this water a second ago. I could say I've now injured my throat and I'm gonna sue. Like, legally, you can do anything. But realistically, that's not gonna happen. Realistically, will a judge look at Lockheed Martin and say, because of you, they failed? Nah, bruh. Come on.
And also
that's not gonna happen at all.
This was about Dovetail making their own thing, right? They bought the licensing and all. And if they wanted to do anything, you know, they could actually lay the blame if they wanted to.
It says you're buying this, the academic version. It is not for entertainment purposes. Do you agree? Purchase. At that point, you've agreed to those terms. They've made it fairly clear to you. And, you know, I don't think that a judge would say you didn't do enough. You needed to get faxed proof of you know, certificates of instruction and this. Dude, come on.
You couldn't do that.
That was not a realistic option or expectation.
I think there would be more chance of Dovetail suing each individual user than actually suing Lockheed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would serve no purpose.
Now, if there was even a slight hint of something like this happening, I would understand this being a topic of alarm like this. But for the way that that particular episode came off as making it sound like P3D could essentially go away. And now that's not word for word, but that was kind of the message.
There was no reason to imply any of that. And again, all it's doing is it'll stoke the fire and those kind of things. Even that would just ruin it for the sim community as a whole. And Dovetail can ill afford to have something like that to happen. Sadly, they weren't able to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
if they were to do this, they as a whole, for all the other IPs that they have, I don't have any of their other products, but I'm aware of them.
They'd be burnt to a crisp.
Exactly. This would filter out, you know, to the different threads and everything else. Don't buy Dovetail. Look what they did. They destroyed a whole community of people because they got petty. No, I don't see this happening.
Lockheed Martin could buy Dovetail games and close them down just for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, to the next topic.
This next topic brought to us by Osflight Simmer. Shut up and take my money. Orbex YBCG. This is the Gold Coast airport coming up by Orbex. Part of their
I don't have the Gold Coast area yet. I know you do, Edson.
yeah, it's beautiful, very scenic area to fly. In the amount of autogen, it's the whole city. I always want to say cityscapes, but I know it's not cityscape. Is it cityscapes?
Cityscapes or scenescapes or something, isn't
Yeah,
it?
City scenes? Scenescape?
Well, cityscape is a landscape of city.
I don't know.
Technically, yeah.
No, that's the proper term.
Or back
Cityscape.
city scenescapes thing. They released the Gold Coast, and as you can see here, I mean, like the level of autogen, it's incredible. Highly detailed buildings. It's just a beautiful area to fly. And this airport falls right into that region now in full Orbex quality. Performance was really nice in this region. Performance was really nice in this region.
In that picture, they had the... My God.
Take my money.
The thing is, with those pictures, I think they cranked up the level of detail to the max, and you cannot realistically have this amount of autogen and a decent frame rate.
Oh, you do. Oh, you do.
Yeah?
Yeah. Kind of like their Netherlands, True Earth. The autogen in these city things is a bit more. It's a bit more increased and optimized. It's really nice on the autogen. Yeah.
Awesome,
it's really nice.
Really good.
It's really built for you to see the skylines. I mean, look in the back, how far back that skyline is, and you can still fully see it. It's cool.
Yeah, draw distance.
Yeah,
As you should.
yeah, it's cool. But detail at this airport, money.
Honestly, for me, I don't get all the hype, and I like what the company does. I think they have extremely talented people, extremely talented for what they do, the time and effort. But we're getting excited again. For what good reason? Every time something new comes out from them, everybody goes bananas. Let's just put the caveat out there. Everything they do is bananas and awesome. You know, it's a given. You know, I don't see any difference in the quality between this and something that I already have, you know, and I'm not knocking them. Don't get me wrong. I've spent plenty of money on this company, but again, this giddy excitement, I just don't understand, because again, these pictures and all the quality level to me is like everything else they have done. So if somebody can explain it to me why we need to get overly excited for yet another new product. Well,
it's not about getting excited. I don't think anybody's putting you here on the spot to get excited. We're putting you here on the spot to get your reactions to what you see. Like, what parts do you like? What parts do you not like?
No,
I just like it all.
I think it's beautiful and it's outstanding. But like I said, talented people, you know. But it just seems.
So should
like
we get
a lot
sad?
Of times, no, that's not what I'm saying. It just seems like a lot of people they just froth at the mouth, you know. And it's like, okay, if somebody could show me that one thing. Now, if it's for something that's in your backyard, then by all means, I would do the same thing. You know, will I eventually buy this at some point? Probably so.
There we go. That's what we're getting to. There we go.
To build my Oceania area, eventually, yes, to build up my Oceania area. But, you know, I don't know. Again, I am not knocking anyone's excitement and all, but it just seems like when I read these things, it's like everybody just goes bananas, and it's like, okay.
So you're like, tone it down.
I mean,
tone it down.
I mean,
that's all you're saying.
I don't know.
They're an Australian company, but they don't really do that many Australian. I mean, yeah, they've got a few, but not as much as the North American sceneries and stuff. They don't have a lot out in Australia.
Bro, there's not a lot out there. Period. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Now,
Airports wise.
Yeah,
I mean,
if I were
you want to see somebody get excited. Somebody develops Oakland International, and you'll see freaking Edison jump out of his seat and start dancing.
I'll jump in that too.
I'll do my laser boy jump.
Yeah, I'll be there too. But you know, now if I were an Aussie and knowing that they don't have a lot from it because it's a landmass, so it doesn't have a crap ton of airports. I would be exactly because it's like it's finally something for me on my continent. Then yes, absolutely.
So to clarify, it definitely is city scene. I'm gonna let that embed into my mind. It's Orbeck city scene.
Getting creature flow.
Creature flow.
I think it's
great in creature
I mean,
flow.
it's still beautiful stuff, though. Don't get me wrong.
It's this stuff, right? Look at all the gear. Look at all the gear. Look at my man holding the suitcase that just came off of this little little trolley right there. Yeah.
He's stealing that luggage.
He's stealing that. He's stealing that piece. He is.
What I like about what they do is it makes me two things. One, if anybody out there from Full Terrain Orbex, if you happen to see this, please just drop a little nugget in the comments on this video. When you survey these airports and all, do you take photos of what's happening at the now, or do you just kind of randomly place aircraft that are known to be there that fly out of these airports, or you just get a snapshot of what was there at the time at your site surveys? That's one thing I've always wondered with all these companies, but specifically these folks. Do they
loads of reference photos and stuff?
Yeah, because it makes me wonder. Let's say they did this today, right? On 1 May at 1400, that's 2 p.m. That's 2 p.m. That's how it looked. And I would love to know those things, because to me that would be cool. Because if that's what they do, you can say, you know what, whatever time it was, it looked exactly like that. And
yeah, did they freeze a moment in time? Yeah.
Yeah, that's just informational. Just curious. But I think it's outstanding.
First Flight Sim Labs A319 preview shared. This one brought to us by Mr. Gibbon. So, baby bus drivers, there it is. The A319X.
It looks just like an Airbus.
Just Sim. Oh God, how do I even pronounce this? Nukovo. Yeah, it's gotta be Nukovo International Airport in X-Plane. This one brought to us by Mr. Gibbon. Some X-Plane love.
Trees.
Those are X-Plane trees, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Clearly.
indeed.
Oh Lord, those trees look terrible.
Somebody
I'm sorry.
needs to sort the trees out.
Somebody does, don't they? $20 club, that's a good thing. Oh, that's nice.
That looks good. Yeah.
Where is this? Russia?
I would guess, yeah.
Cargo terminal.
That's
17
very
miles
clean.
southwest of Moscow.
Ah, thank you, Mr. Noodle.
Those flags have to move.
Oh, they better be animated.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I want to see more of this. I want to see more of Russia as a whole done, because it's an area I want to fly in, but there doesn't seem to be anybody who's done too much. So this is nice.
Very well modeled. Very well.
And city interior as well. Is there something in X-Plane for the jetways?
That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
nice jetways.
Yeah, there's a plug-in for it, and if these developers use it, then you'll get the animated stuff. But yeah, you'll
It's like
Sort of
So-Day,
okay.
basically.
yeah, in essence, like So-Day. But yeah, you get the jetways, you'll get the what's that? The automated marshaller thingy, and then it'll
Oh, that's
also
cool.
it'll read like the type of aircraft that's rolling in. It'll guide you with the arrows. It's pretty cool.
The buses look great. I love that touch. And they're not all aligned either. Look, it's beautiful. This makes me very happy.
It reminds me of what I was saying. We were looking at something a few back, and I was saying it's kind of cool that they're all not like rulered up.
Yes, and that cone knocked over. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. An interesting
Looks like a really nice
location.
airport. I don't know if I'd fly there though. I've never really flown to Russia.
And that's just it. That's why I'm saying I'm glad this is being done, and I hope there's more, because I want to, put my digital feet everywhere, and it's just
Russia
really
needs some love. I agree.
Yeah, and it needs more.
It's a sick livery. I like that livery, dude. It reverses. I like that a lot. Tesla.
What?
Energy company.
It's a rather sprawling area, though. I mean, it's on the large side.
I like the red carpet.
Dude, look at the red carpet. I wonder if this is where presidential flies in, yeah?
That is more than likely a modeling of President Putin's bird, because
his
he has
personal one,
of
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, I watched this thing about it. If you guys haven't seen it on YouTube, go look it up, because
it's so good. That documentary, right, with the with the tour inside, it's so good. Make sure to go check that out.
Yeah.
Those trees, though, I just
they're sad trees.
It'll eventually.
All right, so here's the main terminal, and here is that kind of that presidential area. This is dope, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume this is partly military as well, because most Russian airports are partly military airports as well, aren't they?
What a tower! Wow.
I can't
those
look
trees. Is it triggering you?
Oh, it's triggering. It's such a minor detail, yet it is so important.
Yeah.
The self-shadowing is terrible. That looks good, though.
That looks so good.
Yeah, the lighting on this thing is perfect. Wait.
There's a floating sign.
How does the physics work on this?
I think they forgot to render the support brackets. That sign's just held up by nothing at all.
That's good. Overall, very good scenery.
This is a winner. So that's 18 pounds or so. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. We hope you're enjoying this ad-free podcast, and I want to take this moment to thank our patrons that make that possible. Welcoming on board into the Gold Club sponsor tier starting this month, Mr. Branding Iron 1900, also celebrating his 2-year mark. A big thanks to all our Gold Club patrons. Mr. Catterley 1 also celebrating 1 year this month. Our flight crew patrons, and as always, our ground crew patrons as well. Without your help, none of this would be possible. Thank you again. X-Plane 11 tips on using the sim, asked by Tomcat UK. It says, I've been using FSX and FSX Steam Edition for many happy years. The time has come for me to consider moving sim. I'm still deciding between P3D and X-Plane. Now FSW has been consigned to the bin. Before I take the plunge and I start spending hard cash, I've recently started using the free trial of X-Plane 11. But I'm facing a lot of problems, including number 1, weaving on takeoff roll after landing due to poor traction, incorrect sensitivity of rudder. This is affecting the default 737 and was even worse in the tail dragger tutorial, which was almost impossible to get airborne. I'm using a Skytech X45 but have no rudder pedals. I use the rudder switches on the throttle, which are normally fine in Steam Edition. Number 2, how do I find all the keyboard assignments? I can only find a small list of key commands via the menu. I turned off the C-172 engine by hitting F7, thinking I'd get a notch of flaps during my landing tutorial. That's the FSX side of things, right?
Yeah.
Number 3, how do I change the views? This might be helped by the keyboard commands in number 2 above, but I don't want to randomly hit keys now in case I do anything else to the aircraft midair. Many thanks for the help in advance, TSL crew. I know these are really basic questions, but it would really help me to start to fly the plane instead of operate the sim interface. So,
well, just to hit on a few of those notes, especially about the and takeoff, roll, and landing, is the physics in X-Plane is not the same as it is in P3D and FSX Steam Edition. It uses its own and better physics, more realistic physics. It is very plane centric though. I mean, if you fly the Aerosim Piper Cub, that is just a beast to try and control, especially on landing. The 737, I've had any issues with it, but then again, I'm using the Zebo mod on it, so maybe they've tweaked the physics on that as well. So you just have to, it's a bit hit and miss on the aircraft, I'm guessing. Coming
from FSX and going to X-Plane, in terms of controls, it's incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. Once you get used to it, like most times you can rebind everything that you had in FSX into X-Plane so that it works the same. That's how I have it set up, so it's not as painful.
That's how I have mine set up as well.
Yeah, but it's still a process. It's pretty much a process. I know they had an issue with the nose wheel of planes having too much traction, or the forces weren't right. So when you were taken off, you put some rudder, the nose wheel, if it touched the ground, it had too much influence on the physics. But I believe they fixed it in the recent versions. So, but I totally see what he's talking about. I've had that issue as well. Staying center line on that thing, really hard, really hard.
Now, Mr. Noodle, I know you gave your really in-depth comments as a reply already, so thank you very much for that. I have to comment just on the overall shift that we're seeing. We're seeing more and more people embracing, the attempt at X-Plane, and I think it's really cool to see that happening. I encourage anyone out there that is an X-Plane user, a heavy X-Plane user, to please visit the community. We've never been only P3D or only FSX. Help out if you can. The more people you are able to help transition into even giving it a shot, the better it is as a whole for the entire community. Spread the knowledge, get people learning, get people embracing, help people solve those initial basic problems, and really it's just going to do the X-Plane community even more good because it'll have more people trying it out. I'm really excited to see this. I am. Tomcat UK, I hope that helps, and I hope some of the answers down below in the chat and some of those that are to come from other viewers hopefully helps even more.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. As I said in my rant earlier, Elios from Aerosim Gaming, he came in, I was having issues with certain things, and he said, this is how you fix it, and that's what the community needs.
Yeah, and really quick to the points. I mean, I said some stuff in there, so you can see what I've said. But again, for anybody who's kind of transitioning in, getting their feet wet, this, that, and the other, I'm more than happy to talk to you and help you out. I've been using it for a few years, and there's others as well. You can message me on Discord. We'll set up a time. We'll sit, we'll chat, BS. We'll fire up the sims together and help you out. I don't have a problem with it. I don't mind helping because no one did that for me. I just kind of sat and learned on my own. The biggest issue is just there is just more to it. There's more menus, there's more functions and all that. So if you're on the fence, like I said in there, it is daunting compared to P3D as far as what's available. But don't let that discourage you. If you just take the patience, the time to just look at the menus, you'll be able to see it and understand it, and it's not that difficult. It really isn't. It is not rocket science. If you can sit and learn a heavy and learn the FMC, you can do this. So, but feel free to give me a message on Discord, and we'll schedule some time.
More Milviz SR-71 Blackbird previews shared. So normally this would fall into worth mentioning, but if you recall correctly, last week when we first showed the Blackbird, I said, come on, man, you can't show a preview of a Blackbird and not show me the cones. There they are.
Really, they're crispy.
Those are some crispy cones.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Those are the biggest cones you'll ever get on that plane.
That is absolutely fantastic. Let's see some more. Man. Give me that. Give me that, and then I'm gonna log into VATSIM, fly across the United States, and log off really fast.
And that is going to happen. Even before you said that, there's going to be somebody, you know, who's going to add on to the troll patrol on VATSIM and do that shit. So
look,
remember this, it's going to happen, and we've said it.
The amount of people, they're all going to fly at above flight level 600. There's no problem with that.
look at the angle of attack here. You will never see this in real life ever, and if you do, run. The SR-71 at full fucking throttle, pointing nose down.
It's not even pointing nose down. It's like it's like neutral. It's like a 0 or something close.
You
to
think?
0 if it's down. Yeah, it's the angle of the camera that's
Could
doing
be.
that.
That's, dude, that's so hot.
It's a lot of fire.
It's a lot of fire.
Doesn't
Although,
look good.
I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like they need to widen out a little more.
I was getting to that.
They're a little bit
doesn't look-
lightsaber-ish.
Yeah, they are.
From this
It
angle.
doesn't look good at all. They need to go
Hold.
back.
Let's do some research.
Like we're saying, lightsabers and all. It's just,
Well, it feels accurate to me. Feels damn accurate to me. So.
You
don't
think?
know.
See, it doesn't.
Yeah, they're a bit more spotty though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
spots.
it has these rings. It has this magical, like
Pulse.
it's too intense. I don't know how to really describe it, but that's
Well, it's still bad. It's still better than this.
oh man,
Welcome to 1995.
right?
I don't know.
Oh.
I guess for me,
That's a
it's just
rendering.
because I don't have interest in buying this. And that's probably why I'm just gonna just be like, nah. So I'll just let it go.
I don't think they've done a bad job.
There's another one that matches a bit closer below. Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm. Shock diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
See-
haven't done a bad job.
Not bad. They're a bit long, perhaps.
When we're going to get heat haze like that in P3D?
Ask Lockheed about that if they have an interest into that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be possible by a third party, but the amount of resources that would go into it would just not make it worth it.
They're good at an X-plane.
Oh yeah, but it's an old technique that they use on X-Plane, and I really would like to see them revamp it because it looks shitty on X-Plane.
As the story continues to develop, we chose not to report on it on this particular episode of On Approach. However, if the title interests you, head over to the forums and check out the latest. And now on to worth mentioning, this is the speed round, and where normally we've got a ton, this week we've got a few. So I'll be able to get through this real fast. Here we go. Milano Malpesa Professional now available. Just Flight's TB10 Tobago and TB20 Trinidad now out for X-Plane 11. These planes are phenomenal on P3D. I can only imagine how great they are in X-Plane. An X-Plane 11.20 final now available. That's it. That's worth mentioning. Thanks for another great week, and Sky 5.
Climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, number 63.
63, contact the New York Center 128.3.
28 for agent with 63, good day.